It's a, oh, there it is. Oh, wait, I wasn't ready.
Happy birthday to you. Later this week, happy birthday to you. This is the last chance, last Petty Boots before Johnny's birthday.
Yes, I won't see y'all beforehand, so I'm gonna do it today. So how y'all doing? Hopefully fine out there in the world. Is it dark? Or is it too light? I don't know. It's bright. Anyhow, how y'all doing? Oh, okay. I'm distracted. I'm sorry. Give me one. YouTube is being stupid right now. So
Yeah, for those like that are having trouble getting into chat and stuff, make sure you're still subscribed. I had a big drop in subscriber numbers, and that's YouTube going in and unsubscribing people. So I was reading for a lady Saturday that had to resubscribe, and she's been a subscriber of mine since I started my channel, pretty much. So check and make sure you're still subscribed to your favorite channels.
And thank you, Lucky Girl, for the super chat, and thank you also for the PayPal. I won't call your whole name out, but thank you for the PayPal as well. So how's it going? What's going on with you? Anything? Everything?
Johnny's all snazzy in his blinged out shirt tonight. I'm loving it.
I told Jen I was in this store in Las Vegas. I don't even know the name of it. I seen stuff in the window and said I had to go in there. Like from the front door all the way to the back door, it's filled with the most gaudiest clothes you've ever seen in your whole life. And of course, everything in there is sparkly and shiny, and I had to go in. And so I went in there, and this was one of the things that I had to buy. It's noisy and it's sparkly, and so the camera is not picking it up, but everything sparkles and shines, and so this is what happens when I walk past shiny things out in the world too. So yeah,
get him in a crystal shop that has jewelry too. He goes nuts.
Thank you, SW. Thank you, MJ. Thank you very, very much. Also, when we were in a crystal shop the last time, Lori bought me a ring. I should have wore that too, because sparkly things. I never need anything out of a crystal shop. I remember saying out loud long time ago, I don't want a house full of loose rocks. And what happened? Every time I go in there, I pick something up.
In a house full of loose rocks.
I got rocks everywhere. The shiny kind, not the Don Jr. kind.
I got all kinds of rocks in my drawer here, and do I ever put the jewelry on? No, it's always in the drawer.
I wear all mine. But I do want to give a special shout out to I don't see her in here just yet, but I have to say it right now before I forget. To Lori from the Way of Positive Change. I got a big giant box, as big as my head, of cookies, different kinds.
Oh, yummers.
Yes. She sent me these before. Like, if they sit in this room, they'll last maybe 3-4 days. If I put them out there in the community part of the house, one day. And then she sent me, I hadn't had these yet. They're cinnamon swirl logs, if you will. Like you could.
Yeah.
Yes. I love anything cinnamon. And yeah, I got 2. So I'm about to be real fat today. So
oh man.
So thank you, Lori. Thank you very, very, very much. Becca has sinus issues right now, so she is doing some R&R.
Preston. Speaking of logs, at least I haven't been swimming in excrement creeks. sorry. I can't get over that. Just can't get over that. Let's see announcements. JenLynTarot.com if you would like to schedule a reading with me, or if you would like to buy a gift card for someone. And there's choices on the gift card, so you can scroll through. Like there's a birthday one, there's one with my logo, and there's a Christmas one. And if you would like to attend the seminar in October with me and learn how to do healing energy work and how to work with the astral body back into the physical, and also see Mr. Johnny, that's October 1st through the 3rd in Portland, Oregon. JenLynTarot.com to register for that. The cutoff is in early June, so get registered now while you can.
It's going to be fun.
I've got one lady that's planning on coming back again. She enjoyed the first one so much. So.
I remember we were the last one, and I was walking past the hotel we were staying in, and the hotel has like a sofa at the front of the hotel lobby, and then there were people sitting there like doing energy work on each other, like right there at
in the lobby,
the hotel lobby.
In the
like,
lobby.
yes, use it. Don't just come to the seminar. Like, go and use it. Put it in practice.
It's no harm energy. So even if you don't get it in quite the right place, it will get where it needs to go. So it's white light energy. If you take your hands and do like this, and you can feel like rubber bands of energy in between there. That's what we're working with. Universal energy. We're working in the first 7 layers of the auric field. The auric field is huge, massive. We are much bigger than we think we are. Another thing you can do, you can take the palm of your hand and your index finger, go around in a circle, like you're tracing a circle on your palm, but without touching your palm, and then reverse, and then reverse, and then reverse. You can feel the energy shift when you reverse your finger. If you do it kind of fast and then quickly change directions, you can feel that energy shift on your palm. Mm-hmm. That's what we're working with. White light, God's love, universal energy, chi or ki, whatever you want to call it. Oh my God, Johnny, I have to tell you about that. Before we get into read, I laid down on the sofa. Well, first of all, I talked to Becca for just a little bit, and then I was like, I need a nap before tonight. So I laid down on the sofa because I'm getting over some bug I had last week too. I had was spiking a fever Wednesday and Thursday. So I'm laying there sleeping, and because I'm sleeping on the sofa, I've got a pillow kind of propped up, on the arm. So I'm kind of sleeping with my hands on the pillow, my arms up like this, and I'm sacked out of sleep and didn't realize Skewy had come down on my chest while I was sleeping. And I had a dream where somebody was throwing something right at me. So my hands, my whole body jerked, but my hands to catch it like this. Well, what I did was grab Skewy, backflip off of me, somersault, flying through the air. He was just completely sacked out, and I just scared the crap out of him. I was like, oh my God. I don't even remember, because I woke up when I jolted and he jumped. I don't remember what was being thrown at me, but something was being thrown straight, like it was coming towards my face and my chest.
Thank you, Karen. Give him a karate chop. Thank you for the cash app too.
Don't know if I caught it or not, but I caught a cat. Before we backflipped. Skewy gets up here and he's just totally passed out. He's like Mr. Chill.
I don't know why they choose us to sleep on.
Johnny was laughing a couple of after shows ago. Skewy was laying here on the sofa, and he's like upside down, his rear paws up in the air, and just totally
looked like he was in the most uncomfortable position I've ever seen something lay in, and he's just as content as he could be. It's like just flopped and feet in the air. It's like
turning his head off, and I'd turn his little head towards Johnny and make him smile at Johnny, and he's just.
Oh Lord! That's all right, JC. I thank you for being here. You don't have to send me nothing. It counts that you're just here. Okay, me. I don't have any. Do I have anything else? Tarot class starts June 1st. Email me if you would like to reserve a spot. tarottheprincess@gmail.com. We're not taking payments just right now. We're just reserving spots. I'll send out a email, I think, at the end of the week for like notification purposes to tell you it's going to start. But just reserve your spot. tarottheprincess@gmail.com. Okay. Oh, and I seen you again. Thank you, Lori, for all my treats and things, because that cinnamon roll had to go down today. I just want you to know.
Yeah, you have to rewind, Lori. He showed all of us.
I just love the smell of cinnamon. Anyway. Okay. I've been baptized enough, Florence.
You're gonna go get baptized in a excrement creek. I swear to God, he put his whole head underwater in his jeans. He's in there in long jeans. Like, you don't have a pair of shorts or something. He is definitely trying to catch a brainworm again. And then to sit there in Congress, well, you shouldn't take medical advice from me. No shit. You don't even have the sense to stay out of a creek that's posted raw sewage hazard.
You can click on these. I didn't know.
Oh my God. RFK Jr.
You can do it.
You shouldn't take medical advice from me.
Well, nothing from you.
Do you recall what your title is? What your job is?
That's the other thing. Like, how did we get here, Jesus? Anyway, why I can't
what's her name? Leslie, the comedian that's she's on the Daily Show sometimes. Used to be on Saturday Night Live. Tall black woman. I can't think of her name. She was on Daily Show last week, and she goes, "Everybody is goofy." Make America goofy again. It was just so insane. She's like, "You're in a creek with your grandkids." Leslie Jones, thank you. She was awesome. If you haven't seen that, it's on YouTube. She went on a 10-minute rant about this whole regime, but the RFK Jr. sent her over the top.
Why? I mean, I get it. Look who's in charge. But, Jesus.
You read a sign that there's raw sewage. There's why in this day and age do we have raw sewage dumping in a creek?
Regulations.
Thank you, Trump. But B, like, you're an adult. You can read that sign. What would you go swimming in your toilet bowl? He
would.
I like. Do you drink your own urine too? Like, what the hell?
Thank you, Gigi. Where'd it go? I see the comment. Where'd it go? Oh, I can't find it.
This is our Health and Human Services director.
Literally swimming in Schitt's Creek.
Without a paddle. I got a brainworm.
Took a deep breath too when he went under there, I'm sure. Well, okay. So we'll get the dim bashing out of the way first.
Yeah, we're gonna call him Tidy Bowl. Tidy Bowl. That's the name that'll stick. Tidy Bowl. Make America goofy again. Tidy Bowl.
Oh, good God.
Oh, and I loved people. Brian Krasenstein. I can never pronounce his last name. And several other people that had posted 86 647, which means, get rid of him, impeach him, get rid of him. It doesn't mean assassinate. It just means get rid of him. They had FBI sent to their homes because they had tweeted or put on social media.
Oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Uptick. Thank you, Gigi. Thank you, Sue, as well. So in the world of the Dems, the vice chair, co-vice chair, I found that out today. There is a man named Malcolm Kenyatta, and there is David Hogg. And there is a woman, because I think there were 5 candidates for the vice chair of the DNC. And a woman by the name of, I believe a woman, by Kaylin Free, has not sued. I don't think she sued, but anyhow. So David Hogg gets elected. Malcolm Kenyatta also gets elected. Now, mind you, thank you, Jamie. According to Kenyatta, he got more votes than David Hogg, and they're both vice chair of the DNC. And Kaylin Free had put in papers a long time ago, before David Hogg got elected, or before he was even in the primary, according to Kenyatta, that said that this election is not done properly. She's going on the basis of gender bias, because there's 2 guys at the top of the ticket now. But again, according to Kenyatta, she filed this notion before David Hogg got elected, because David Hogg is saying right now, because they want to do the election over, he is saying he's been targeted because he wants to go and get rid of the old guard, and he feels as though that's who's targeting him. And meanwhile, the election was challenged before he got elected, according to Kenyatta. And so this wasn't about him. This is about the election process. And apparently the election process, according even to the DNC, yes, was not done properly. And so now they're they're having a vote about starting the whole thing over, because their election process apparently was not done properly.
I know another election that wasn't done properly back in November too. Like, get your shit together, DNC. It's just casting votes. Do you not know how to count ballots?
Mm-hmm. And so this is supposed to be done all over again. And he feels as though he's being targeted because he's going after the old guard. And Kenyatta is upset because he ran a campaign. He got more votes than Hogg, and now he has to do it all over again. And so what I want to know, though, is, since he is kind of sucking up the oxygen in the room, David Hogg, will he be vice chair going forward? Because they have not done the election over yet. They're having a vote to do so. And there's a committee that gets to decide that. Nancy Pelosi's daughter is on that committee too. But will he be vice chair going forward? $20 million he wanted to spend on getting rid of the old Democrats who were, in his words, ineffective. And then thank you, Catherine. And then the chair, Ken Martin or Martin something, he's saying that we should be neutral. We shouldn't be going after certain people and doing these type of things. Neutral.
David. Well, that's a mixed bag. Um, he has hope. Star card on the bottom. The message to America and trying to balance out, what loser Trump is doing. Um, he gets a good chunk of the votes. I think he will move forward. A lot of it has to do with the donors. So if the donors are saying, yeah, you should back him or not. There's something new coming to an end here soon. I'm getting Trump vibes all over this. Like there's something sudden happening soon with Trump, but I get celebrations for Hogue. So I'm going to say yes. It's going to be, there's something sneaky going on. So it's going to be difficult.
I've done a couple of readings on him, and I just feel still the same, that you would be great for the DNC if you were not trying to change things. You are probably doing a little too much for them. You're probably doing the right thing for people who agree with you, of course, but I get the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Swords. So there in time comes betrayal. Right now, with the Six of Swords and the Ten of Cups, I think you will go back to where you were. This will be sort of a very rough transition. So you're going to go back and be the chair, I believe. The Nine of Cups and Magician, it's going to, contingent upon you agreeing to be neutral. There is something where they wish and desire, but that is a manipulation of your wishes and desires with the Nine of Cups. They don't want you to go forward with what you said you were going to go forward with. If you choose to stay on this same path of trying to replace the ineffective Democrats, then I think they will put the knife in the back and that type of thing. But you can get back there, the Six of Swords, but you're going to have to compromise. And I've been saying this, that if you go and you just sit down and be quiet, you'll do just fine. If you go and you start trying to shake the table, then they're going to fight back. These people don't like change. They've been there since, somebody said, since Jesus was born in the chat. Yes.
They don't like change, but at the same time, they're trying to attract the younger voters. And, who better to talk about like gun reform and stuff than someone that's been through a shooting, a school shooting?
Well, anyway,
as well as how to get young people registered and what they're looking for out of government. Because a lot of young people, they're not thinking about Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare yet. But you got to remind them they got grandma and grandpa that need to be taken care of.
Okay. Off track for just a second. That's not funny. I'm a laugh though. Anyway. Lord, wait a minute. I can't even get it out. There's a man by the name of Tim Pettit who says Donald Trump should apologize at least for making his wife cry. How did he make his wife cry, did you say?
Yeah, I was going to say, when did his wife cry?
Tim Pettit bought his wife a $650 Donald Trump watch. Now,
he made Tim's wife cry, not Melania. Okay.
No, she has no tear ducts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't following the story. Okay, I'm with the story now.
Lizards don't cry. Now, mind you, I still think this story is a little taste of fake news. It just seems like it, because it can't be. Anyway, They get to watch because she's very excited. She loves Donald Trump and he loves Donald Trump, and they're very, very Donald Trump people and all of that kind of stuff. Where it go? There you go. She gets to watch, and there's no T. It's just RUMP on the watch. She got a rump watch. There's no T on the watch. It's just rump. And she
Made in
got a
China.
watch that says rump in it.
No quality control.
They can't send it back. There's no answer to their phone calls because, again, the headquarters for his shoes and his watches is in the middle of a mall somewhere where there's no people. There's no stores. There's no none of that, and it's just sitting there.
There's no customer service.
$650 for a rump watch, and can't even send it back. Ain't no diamonds in it. Ain't no gold in it. You don't get no Donald Trump. Don't come with it. All you get is a missing T and a watch that's probably about to stop working in the next 3 days.
Here's your man, Rump.
Rump watch. What I want to know is, will there be more of these stories? Because this is
Rump watches. Will there be more rump watches?
because, mind you, they said in the small print and on the website and all of this that there's no guarantee for this, there's no guarantee for that, there's no guarantee for this, there's no guarantee for that. So you're basically, it's a crapshoot. So you're going to pay him thousands of dollars, or $650 in his case, to get we'll see. Like, no, sir.
Like Freudian slip meets karma.
Yes.
Rump.
You got a rump watch. Meanwhile, all the Democrats that spell his name spell little t, capital R. We're laughing right along with you, but he said he wanted at least an apology since he can't get his money back.
We're about to have a new rump plane.
He wanted at least an apology for making his wife cry. What's she crying for? You literally bought something from a con artist and didn't think you were going to get a con. At least you got to watch. He sent you a box full of parts and said, try and put it together.
All of his stuff that he sells, the sneakers and everything, may not look exactly like this. Like there's disclaimers on everything. No, it should look identical to that. No, we got rump.
Meanwhile, he's not wearing one. That's to probably tell you at least one or two things.
Yeah, this probably says rump.
Rump roast. Dry rump roast. Carne seca. He'll buy me a tea. Thank you, look here. Only tea I have is that one right there. And you can't have it.
Like, what time is it? Screw up time. Every time you look at that watch, you're going to be reminded he's screwing up again.
Ain't that a mess, though? Now you can't wear that nowhere. Like nowhere.
We're to church on Sundays.
And this was on the news. That's how I seen it was on the news. And she's got this rope watch.
There's a reason Rump Steaks went bankrupt and Rump Water and
Rump Magazine, Airline, Casino. Who bankrupts a casino?
Rump University.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Got Tidy Bowl Man and Rump up there. It's just. I love the high school kids asking last week, sitting on the Capitol steps, asking, "Why is he orange?"
Cheeto dust. Cheeto dust is good though, so I guess maybe not. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay.
You know, there's going to be all kinds of problems with stuff he's doing.
The liquor cabinet.
Rump vodka without the alcohol. Yeah, he's a win at all costs. Like I don't care how bad the product is. Just I got to win. I got to make money. Um, yeah, you just need to look at this differently. Weigh the odds. You got a romantic gesture from your husband. Meanwhile, Trump's over there raking in the money and resting easy. So it's going to happen again. There's going to be all kinds of things coming out routinely. Every time he thinks of a new grift, that he can get people to connect to, there's going to be problems. Yeah. Because he lies. He lies about the quality. He lies about everything.
Everything. Conversations about changing in perspective. People are now getting to see exactly what it is that he's putting out there with the Hangman and the Eight of Wands, the Temperance, and the King of Pentacles. This does not make them instantly hate Donald Trump, however. They're still sort of following his business, but at the same time, there is a perspective change. Because, mind you, just with this and anything else, he can do something, it turns out crappy, it messes up something in your life, and then you find somebody else to blame.
Yes, Joe Biden's fault. Your watch says rump.
Yes. Or the company, or maybe it's China or something. Like, it's never his fault. Like, anyway, okay, let's go here. This plane that he is supposed to be getting from Qatar and all that, right? My question is,
we were talking about this before going live. You should see their planes. They got bigger planes. They're so nice. Our Air Force One looks so small. He's got plane envy, just like he's got little mushroom envies. All day, every day. I said, he needs to quit looking at the other urinals over there when he's at the airport.
Like, what? When you should never speak ill of your country, even a little bit, on foreign soil, no matter what country you're from. He can't help himself. Jesus, like, all he cares about is shining status. Like, thank you, Kate. My question is, though, why do the GOP care so much? Now, I get why they say, because basically, well, what I think, just without the cards, is because it looks like he's being bought and all of that kind of thing, right? But Russia owns him, Turkey owns him, like, people own him already. Why aren't you squealing about that too? All of the dough, and mind you, because those people probably own some of y'all too, just like Russia owns McConnell. So McConnell has nothing to say about Russia owning Trump. But why do they care so much about his plane? Is it simply that they think, okay, you're being bought and sold to Qatar? Or
it's like, I'm getting a new place in Qatar, and I'm also getting a $400 million airplane, which the taxpayers are going to have to spend close to $1 billion on to, because that thing's going to be wiretapped and everything else, surveillance. They've got to bring it up to standards. So he'd be better off buying his own new plane here in the U.S. And he's like, their planes are so nice. It's a Boeing. They're all made by Boeing.
Aren't they all?
No matter where you are in the world, they're all made by Boeing. But yeah, they were okay with quid pro quo with Zelensky in his first term. They were okay with that and wouldn't impeach him and remove him. But this airplane's getting under their skin a little bit.
And why?
Why?
Everybody else owns a part of him.
We're going to spend millions of taxpayer monies to bring it up to whatever standards it needs to be for Air Force One. And he's taking it after he leaves office. So it's not even staying in the U.S. government. It's total illegal violation of the emoluments clause and tying it in with his new golf courses and everything overseas. Plus, it came out that Don Jr. Has a company based out of Florida. The LLC's based out of Florida, where he's getting lots of money. There's a German newspaper that released a whole bunch of stuff where he's getting a bunch of money from these Middle Eastern countries.
You know, and we keep saying too, because the emoluments calls and things, that this is against the law, I can't do this. This is against the law, I can't do that. I think we can probably stop saying that, because Donald Trump does everything against the law. Nobody does anything. Well, in his administration, nobody's going to do anything. So
laws for everybody else. It's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, at least under Biden, you know, Letitia James and Fonnie Wilson went after him and got some results. So it's not like nobody ever tried to do anything ever in life. And at least Nancy Pelosi did get an impeachment out of him and that type of thing. So somebody, the women, have at least gone after him and gotten something. Under his administration, no, thank you.
I mean, they know exactly what a moron he is. You know, there's Saudi Arabia having a mobile McDonald's there to greet him. You know, we've never had a president that you had to have a mobile McDonald's for.
Oh my God.
This man is such a moron.
Can he not embarrass us at least one day?
One day. Can we make it?
Yeah.
I'd settle for 2 hours. Can we have 2 hours where he doesn't embarrass our country?
Oh my God. He could be 6 feet under, he'd still embarrass us. Because I bet he'd be one of them people that floats right to the top and goes floating down the street or something. He'd find a way. Oh my God. Why do they care?
Ronald McTwo-Dolls. How are we phrasing this question? Why the GOP?
Why do they care? Why are they objecting to his plane?
Because they're getting the shit beat out of them. They go home, their constituents, everything he's doing. This might be the easiest way to get rid of him.
It's blatant.
Yeah. Yeah, this might be the easiest way to take an action against him and just bring it all down. So to get rid of him, because he's stealing funds right and left, you know, and trying to heal America. In other words, because you know, America's we got the next March, June 14th, No King's Day. Be there, find somewhere near you, go participate. This could lead to like an impeachment, taking an action because it's so illegal. You know, Trump's dropping in the polls. There's nothing to resurrect him. You know, he's leaving everybody out in the cold, and it's a huge legal issue. It's the easiest way to get rid of him.
Why do they care so much? And the Six of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, that it appears to be, this is the out in the cold, the lack, the loss, that type of thing. Six of Cups is more of a nostalgia. But in this case, I think it may speak to a safety issue, if you will. They feel as though this thing comes with strings attached, or it comes with some sort of, the Five of Pentacles can be like a disease. So it comes with an infection of some sort. Thank you, me, myself, and I. It's like they get to then inject themselves into American politics like everybody else does. But they're not considered the good people because they're not donating to us too. Like if MTG got a plane and Boebert got a plane and you get a plane and you get a plane and you get a, then they probably wouldn't care because then they get a check too. These are not people of morals and standards all of a sudden, which is what was baffling me about why do you care about his plane all of a sudden. But justice in world, they feel as though this kind of tips the scales of balance to the foreign power because they now own the president. That's a very, very large donation. The Devil, Two of Pentacles, they tip the scales of balance to the foreign power. the King of Wands in the tower, there's your leadership falls right there. And so now all of a sudden you are owned by somebody else. He already is.
He has been. He has been.
He doesn't own any. His name is being licensed and leased to pretty much everything. He owns nothing. Everybody owns him. And he's okay with that because he gets to go play golf and pretend to be the most powerful person on earth. I don't have to be Superman. I can just dress up as Superman.
Yeah.
It works
All
for
I have
him.
to do is have this reality TV kind of thing going on, which is what all these Middle Eastern countries learn. Just give him the reality show he wants with the sword dancing and everything.
Okay, we gotta go there for just a half a second. This can't be real, but I'm gonna read it anyway because it comes from a real news source called Reuters. So,
They're usually reliable.
Department of Homeland Security (DHS) Secretary Christy the Puppy Killer Noam has reportedly lent her support to a reality show which immigrants compete for a U.S. citizenship prize.
It is real.
Like I can't. What the
Like
hell?
where they fight for it, like gladiators in a ring. Okay, you gonna put a 75-year-old grandma immigrant in a ring to fight for her citizenship?
Like they
Or-
treat it like you are the worst person on earth for sneaking in here, and then they take it and dangle it like some sort of
we're gonna get entertainment off of watching you get the crap beat out of you or something.
this.
It's funny. It's Hunger Games.
Stupidest thing I've ever. That's according to the Daily Mail report. Sorry, but this was on Reuters where I got it from Thursday, which the Daily Beast also corroborated. Noam has apparently been working with the Duck Dynasty producer. She's proactively working with producers for this. You don't have anything else to do, Homeland Security? Nothing at all? At all? Okay.
When they win it, who's going to award it? JD Vance will break the trophy.
Thank you, Becky. It says the show would be called The American, which would pit immigrants from different countries against each other in various challenges across the United States. So there's a show back in the day called The Amazing Race. That's kind of what this sounds like, where you go from one side of something to the other side of the country or wherever you are, and you do little challenges, and whoever gets there first gets the prize. And so these immigrants would then compete against each other to win citizenship. Will this be a real thing? Was my question.
Will we see it air on TV?
The American. Oh my God, that is deplorable.
They'll never find advertisers, is what I'm hearing. Like nobody would sponsor that because it'd be bad for their business.
It's just that's beyond.
Like, Elon Musk might advertise on it, but
I mean, y'all sit here and you act like being an American citizen is the greatest thing on earth, and all these people need to be shipped back where they come from and all this type, and then you literally use it like a steak dinner and say, hey, if you could eat this in 30 minutes, you win it all type of thing. This is the stupidest, most grossest thing.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of videos where the Latino voters for Trump are turning on him because of him letting in all these white South African people, like paying for it, flying them over here. Like, yeah, you come in, but everybody else we're shipping to El Salvador and maybe Libya and anywhere else we can send them.
Oh, good God. Like, she's not embarrassed. That's just
A dog killer? No.
I guess so.
The cruelty's the point.
Yeah.
That's her sense of humor. The cruelty's the point.
That's gross. compete against each other to be an American citizen.
I mean, you know, Christy Nome, go swimming with RFK Jr.
I mean, take your knife and fork, whatever you find in there, eat it.
Yeah, unless you get a state TV thing going, it's blocked on the networks because she thinks that shows strength. It's corrupt as hell. You know, trying to find the advertisers, it would be blocked from a network. It's very poor judgment. It would have a lot of Americans talking about it. Yeah, bad news. Not going to work.
You can put it on TV, and I'm sure they'd like it. But the Empress and the Five of Pentacles, the growth as far as like finances are not there. You're having a very, very hard time because a lot of people running from this, a very hard time trying to find money. However, we all know that everybody with money out there does not have morals. So you'll find someone, I'm sure. But there's the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. They are legitimately talking about this, though. There's your Eight of Wands. That's your conversation. The Ace of Pentacles is like your opportunities, your offers and things of that nature. They got to fill out, you know, who's going to host it and who's going to do this and then who's going to blah, 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 blah. So you got to, they're trying to find some support and drum it up for that type of thing. Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords and Nine of Swords, it just doesn't look like it can get off the ground and be sustained. So even if they did this, you can only do it once. This is the stupidest idea. And mind you, this does nothing but embarrass everybody involved. And so this is not something that I think people want to continue to do, even if they did get it off the ground. But I'm thinking a no. Word of warning, Six of Wands, no victory after the struggle. Oh my God. Can we just, where's the Elon rockets? Put y'all all in one and just send it up. And you go get your own planet and you do all the stupid stuff you want to do over there.
Go ahead to Mars.
Oh my God.
We're all for you going to Mars. Y'all be first.
Yes. Y'all, I mean, they like it so much. Go up there. It's nice this time of year, actually, too. I think because the polar ice caps are melting, and so it creates like a carbon dioxide smoky effect. It's fantastic.
Global warming.
Get you a disco ball and get you going over there. It'll be wonderful. Then you can eat. Then you can eat all the poop you want, and they have they stuff up there, and then
Kid Rock got the blindsided this week. He has a bar right next to the Grand Ole Opry down in Nashville. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy.
They got a tip off that ICE was coming into his bar because most of the people that worked in the kitchen and everything were illegal immigrants.
Really?
And yeah, it's like Kid Rock is hiring illegal immigrants because probably he doesn't want to pay enough minimum wage to attract people that.
Where's all the white guys? He ain't putting none of them to work.
He's hiring illegal immigrants. So they let a bunch of them go home before ICE got there. And he had to shut down because there's nobody to prepare the food, and lost a whole bunch of money because there was a big show going on at the Grand Ole Opry. So when it let out,
nobody had anywhere to eat.
Nobody's in there to cook food or anything for him.
Oh, tear. No.
Tear. You got rocked. And
that's the thing. It's like Donald Trump. Oh, I don't like China, but all your stuff is made there. And I'm sure Mar-a-Lago has plenty of people that ICE might like to visit. Your ICE would like to visit.
Bedminster too. That came up in his first term that he had a bunch of illegals working at his resorts.
He's disgusting. I can't stand these people. Guess what you get, Kid Rock? I hope your whole restaurant shuts down and never opens again. Because speaking of business, though, Donald Trump and his tariffs, mind you. Okay, let me say this. And I knew this, but I looked it up, and it's caveat, but it's still kind of the same. The entity that employs the most people in the United States is the United States government. They employ more people than anything else in this country. Number two is like its offshoots and its subsidiaries and all that. But right there with number two is Walmart. Walmart in the United States employs more people than anybody except the federal government.
I would say retail in general, you know,
Anybody
is right there.
in any car lot, any factory, anything. Walmart employs more people than anybody except the federal government. Donald Trump has now gone on record telling Walmart, don't you dare raise your prices, eat the cost of the tariffs. Now, anybody who's been in retail, I don't care where you worked in retail, you know that's not how it works.
Which he said you made billions in profits last year. Oh, look, Walmart had a great time under Joe Biden. They made money. Now they're not making money. Now they got tariffs.
Bless his heart.
Buyer's
Prayers for
remorse.
Telling that's not how it works. These companies with billions, and because mind you, Walmart can afford a whole bunch of stuff. Mind you, they can eat the cost, technically. Yes. But that's not what they want to do. They're a business that is in the business of making money. They don't care about nothing else.
It's all about the stocks and the stakeholders. That's all it's about. It's not about if we eat some profits, because they have these numbers they got to hit for their stakeholders and the ones that, yeah. And meanwhile, the three family members that own Walmart are the wealthiest billionaires in retail.
Right. There is, they like when they spent the $500 million or whatever it was on that museum in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
you couldn't maybe trickle some of that down into your employees. When I worked there, I made $7.25. They raised it a couple years later, or whatever it was, years later, to $9.25, only because Target raised theirs to $10 or something like that. They have the money to do all kinds of things, but they don't want to because they're in the business of making money. So Donald Trump telling them, eat the costs, that's not how that works. What I want to know, though, because he's saying, Donald Trump in his threatening voice is saying that he is going to keep an eye on these companies out here to see if they start raising prices, like Amazon and Walmart and Target, these big giant corporations.
I'm watching you.
Yeah. So what I want to know is, will they eat the cost, or will they stand up and not stand up to the president? Because you don't really have to. Okay, another thing. If you don't like the price of eggs, if you don't need eggs, like if you don't have a business that needs eggs, or if you don't have a diet that needs eggs, don't buy them. Let them sit there and they will come down. Everybody's chicken does not have bird flu. So therefore, everybody does not need to raise the prices of eggs. They do so because one company gets to do it, so we all then do it, and then you all pay for the increase in price. They don't have to. They're doing it because you pay for it.
Like, oh, supply and demand. When the supply is low, we got to raise the prices because the demand is still there.
You do not have to do that.
You do not have to do that.
So when it comes to raising the prices, will they raise the prices or will they eat the cost? Because Donald Trump's watching now. Thank you, Mike. This is bad. Nine of Pentacles flew out. That's the card of luxury, expensive. We'll have to go. We were backstage or after the show, whatever you want to call it. And we were looking up where Botox is made and like the lip fillers and the eyelashes. And most of that stuff is not made here.
Yeah, like there's going to be tariffs on all kinds of cosmetic crap. The fake nails. It's like, oh, Laura Loomer and all of them, they're not going to be able to get their lip injections. Hang on.
This is in Indonesia, and that's in that over there. Like,
I was telling him my cat Lucy has a eye virus, which she picked up last summer that she's probably going to have the rest of her life. And we've tried different eye drops, a lot of different things to see which one she responds to the best. But she gets real squinty eyed and inflamed when it's acting up. And we found one eye drop that she seems to respond to that works pretty well. And I looked on the box and it's made in Hungary. So now I've got to call into the vets and stock up before tariffs jack the price up or can't get it. To be looking at your meds. Where's it made, or where the ingredients come from? They're turning their back on Trump. So will they raise the prices? Hell yeah. Bad news for the fool. Bad news. They're all about the money for their company. They got, because I worked in retail, so you have gross margin, profit dollars, everything, and you have to take into account what it costs you for the real estate, for if you own it, property taxes, if you rent it, rent, staffing, insurance, everything, stocking the product, everything, the trucks taking it back and forth from the warehouse to the store. There's a lot of costs involved in running a retail operation, especially on the size of a Walmart, right? So they've got a certain amount of money that they've got to make.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate you. Ace of Wands initiative, 9 of Pentacles, expensive. Yes, they're going to raise the price. The 6 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. Here's the thing that I don't want to happen. This is just me and my magic wand that I don't want to happen. I don't want them to look like heroes for standing up to Donald Trump, because they're raising prices.
Well, they're making billions.
They don't have to. I mean, I'm not saying that they should bow down to the bully and eat the cost, that kind of crap, but at the same time,
they could eat some of it.
you might be raising the prices on things that are made here, first of all. But I get it, because just because you have something that's made here doesn't mean that extra cost over there doesn't affect that thing too. Get it, but at the same time, it's Walmart.
I saw somebody estimated that 33% of the merchandise sold in Walmart is made overseas. And I challenge that. I would bet it's higher than 50%. A lot of the produce is from here and stuff, but a lot of that's imported too. Most stores, it's more like 75% of it has some component that's made overseas.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked us, I'm going to be gross and petty at the same time.
Well, it is Sunday night. It's what we do.
Pam Bondi and her Epstein review of the tapes and all these types of things. Someone asked, and I said, okay, let me ask. Has she seen Donald Trump in any of this footage?
Yeah, because she's got all the people reviewing the footage.
Mm-hmm.
Has she seen him personally?
And she is his personal lawyer, when the DOJ is supposed to be a separate branch, but she is his personal lawyer, basically. And then the last time his personal lawyer was there, he covered up for him altogether. So, has she seen him?
Trump. Oh no, I don't want to be cracking bad jokes about him and underage people.
I don't know, spam Bondi.
I'm waiting on him to come up in the P. Diddy trial.
You know, I looked and his charges are federal, and he's rumor has it that he might be trying to, what do you call it, pay for pardon from you know who. Mhm.
Taking all his children in there to hear the crap every day in court that he's done. I'd be embarrassed to have my kids sit there through that.
I mean, his kids, one of them was arrested. Like, they were in the thick of it too, I guess.
And Bundy, have you seen the little shroom? Well, that's a yes on the bottom. Yes in the past position. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up real tight. Nobody's gonna see this crap. Nobody. Yeah, not gonna move this forward with America. He's yes.
Knight of Cups, Five of Pentacles, yes, and it's rejected. It's thrown out. It's maybe edit it now.
Erase.
Because it's kind of I always think about the whole Nixon thing and why didn't you just destroy the tapes, or why didn't you just that type of thing. To if you're going to steal classified documents, why are they in your bathroom? Why didn't you just get rid of them? Why are you eating documents? Why are you trying to flush them 14 times? Thank you, Orchid.
Why are you okay with Trump as a rapist and a pedo, but you're not okay with Epstein?
Yeah.
What? Make that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
How their brain can make it okay for him to get away with it.
Speaking of getting away with, so the USDA wants a registry to, or whatever you want to call it, of your private data and information if you receive SNAP or food stamp. And will that be blocked is what my question is. So they want access to all of your private info. Mind you, the SNAP benefit is part of public information, so the world can see how much you get from SNAP. But at the same time, your name, your address, your phone number, email, social security number, all that stuff is private. But SNAP is under pressure right now to give all of that information over to the USDA.
Part of what Epstein, Elon, same ilk. Part of what Elon was trying to do was take all the databases from like IRS, Social Security, Medicaid, SNAP, everything, all these different agencies, and have one big giant database. Wouldn't that be beautiful? All your information in one place. Well, so much easier for hackers and scammers and everything. It would be the worst thing ever to not keep our databases separate.
Thank you, Judy. Oh, thank you for the PayPal too.
So will they create a database of through the yes or no? Will it get blocked or will they create it?
Where did it go?
another manipulation of our poor and impoverished and people that need help. This will end up with a very strong case in court, is what I'm getting, because loser Trump here trying to share personal information. I get there's going to be a lot of illumination on shifting around personal data like that, and they'll have to give up on this. The putting all the details in there on people who are already, suffering. It's a manipulation. So I get some action will be taken. There's too many people that would be affected. Some actions taken by the courts. It won't stand. It won't stand.
I get Two of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. So there is a block, and that's secure for the moment. Mind you, one loss doesn't mean they just give up and go away. There's something they want, therefore they're going to keep trying to get it. The Four of Pentacles, it's still being held under wraps for the moment. But the Ten of Swords and the Six of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, then they will continue to put pressure on this in particular issue until they get at least something, or they're going to try. Because mind you, you still have midterms coming and you still have a new election coming. And so all of that can change, but they are going to still try. Piggybacking on that, though, Health Secretary, Toilet Bowl, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has vowed to address rising U.S. autism rates as top health priority for the Trump administration. Last month, he pledged $50 million to help identify environmental causes of autism.
Is that what he was checking for in that creek?
To be issued as grants by the National Institute of Health, and has announced plans to create a national autism registry, to where if you have autism, you need to be on this registry. That way they can track you. Yet and that's okay. During COVID, Biden was putting chips in everybody to track them. And now this is literally what they're doing, and nobody says nothing. Yet during the first 4 months of 2025, the NIH, the National Institute of Health, has reduced funding for autism-related research by an estimated $31 million. This is not about trying to find a cure or a treatment or a cause for autism. This is you tracking people, just like with the SNAP business. So will they be able, because he's getting pushback, of course, already, but will he be able to get this national autism registry up and going?
With their eugenics thing of wanting a white America, I could see them like tracking handicapped people and people that have disabilities, and trying to ship them all somewhere. I could see them totally doing that.
Figure out how to stop the measles. That's what you could be doing, sir.
You shouldn't take health advice. You shouldn't take health advice from me.
We won't. Don't worry. But at the same time, that's the same rhetoric of Fox News is not a news organization. We're an entertainment organization that looks like you're delivering news. Therefore, people take it as news, especially when you call yourself Fox News. Don't take health advice from the person who's running the health organization.
The staff of the human services. Something that would help make America great again is if we had, he's named a Surgeon General that doesn't even have a doctor's license. That's never. Why would you have a Surgeon General that's never ever performed surgery?
I can't.
Make America goofy again. How crazy is that?
Linda McMahon
That's
education. She has no education credentials at all.
yeah. Who doesn't understand that AI is pronounced AI? She calls it A1, like steak sauce. A1. We're gonna have A1 in schools. We're gonna be teaching kids through A1. Steak sauce is not teaching those kids.
Passing out all the steaks to everyone for their A1 class.
The unqualified stupidity is the point. I'm putting people in there who have no clue what they're doing, what they're about, and therefore just destroying the government. Where are all these nut jobs going afterwards? Because once he kills the government, they have no job.
Create a new world, I guess.
Can we ship all these people to Libya or somewhere?
Maybe. Bring us the South Africans and then send them back in their place if that's what you want to do. The white South Africans, might I add.
Wait, what was our question?
Will they stop the autism registry?
Oh, will they stop?
Because he is getting pushback.
He's getting a lot of pushback on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ain't going anywhere. They're gonna families coming together causing legal problems. Yeah, America sees like all these details they're trying to gather together. America sees it for what it is and isn't having it. So, one more lawsuit for you.
Mm-hmm. I get the Hierophant and the devil, which is the god and the devil. But there's your government, and then there's something. Even if this doesn't work as a registry, something is going on there still. Where if you have some sort of there's like maybe a violation of HIPAA or something. Because this here, the devil, there's some sort of undue influence. There's something going on that's illegal and so forth and so forth. The Eight of Pentacles would be the details. And so they're pulling it from somewhere. And so you may not even call it a registry, but that's what it is. They're compiling data for something. And so I think it will go not forward, but it transforms into something else where they can disguise it. With the Six of Wands and the Two of Wands, there's something there to where you don't have to call it a registry, but it functions the same. Because that's your details, and it's going in the government, but it's doing so by the devil, by illegal means or something like that.
Like or getting it from Medicaid or something.
Especially if you are an entity that receives government money or something like that, then they can use that over you. Lord. Okay, 2 questions of unification, if we can. Will all of the media defend free press? I know the answer, but I'm asking anyway.
The one that wants to be a state TV probably won't.
Because I understand the short-sightedness of right-wing TV and sometimes the echo chamber of left-wing TV. But at the same time, if one goes down, you go with it. But because right now, you are parroting the message of the people in charge, but they won't be in charge forever. So
All of them didn't fight to get who was it, AP, that was thrown out of his press conferences. All of them didn't stand up for them to come back.
Yeah. As they say, I don't like what you said, but I'll fight for your right to say it. Will they all band together?
This is about to be a tower moment for press, because to your point, we've got some that it's all about the money and it's entertainment, you know. So they've turned their back on being a news organization. And those that are, they share information about who's thrown out and who's being constricted and everything, and see the problems that they're trying to create with it. So it's not all of them, but it's a pretty good number. When I get that Knight of Pentacles, to me it's more than 50%, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all of them.
There is an outcry with the Page of Cups, and so some people are there. The Two of Pentacles, it is a balancing act, though, because with the Three of Pentacles, your collaboration. Four of Swords, some people sit it out. We know who those some people are. And so some people sit it out, the collaboration, Three of Pentacles, where you should be banding together. So to piggyback on that, will all of Congress stand together against the threats? Right now, he's just threatening those who oppose the administration, saying that we will arrest you. And then AOC says, well, if you even try, you're going to have a big problem. And then Hakeem saying, well, that's, you know, a red line or line in the sand or whatever he called it. Will they stand together?
You got Josh Hawley, who is speaking out about this bill that got voted down in the House last week, that it would never pass the Senate when it got there, if it did get there, because they're facing the backlash from the people. And it's like, yeah, you can live in your little ivory towers, but you make enough money to hire security for the rest of your lives, because we, the people, are getting bigger and bigger and bigger in the protests.
But what's crazy is they are just full of lawlessness. And what you should be is grateful that you don't live in a country that is full of Jan 6 mentality. Because in some countries, they literally march in the streets, storm the castle, take the leader and throw him out and get a new one. Like literally storm the castle type thing. Not some elections and no. Like pitchforks and knives and guns and things, and say, okay, you get out. That's the kind of country you want to live in. Okay.
You'll find out how many Democrats own guns eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we asking this? Sorry, I get to Gabby Gabby. I forget the question.
Will Congress stand together against the threats?
Yes.
Because right now it's Democrats. That doesn't mean tomorrow it's not you too.
I still remember Biden, or not Biden, Obama, the first time he met with Putin, and they weren't going to allow media in the room. And he's like, no, let them in. Let them in. It's like, we always have free press.
Back when we had a president, Lord have mercy.
We had real presidents.
Those were the days.
You know, with these Republicans and how they're structured, it's all of what they do every day depends on where the money's coming from and what they're telling them to do. So the lobbyists, um, so they're going to hang on, and they'll get a different perspective every time the lobbyists tell them, "Oh, we're not happy with that." So if the lobbyists tell them we're not happy with what they're doing with free press, we got to move on this. There's some change coming that I get that they will block in Congress. So whether that's like a state-run media or you know, we'll start broadcasting Russian TV over here in English.
I think they will, most of them. Mind you, Donald Trump can threaten as the emperor in the Eight of Cups, and they'll be just fine because they'll back down and that type of thing. But Six of Wands and the Ace of Cups, you will have some sort of voice of reason here. Somebody will come through and say you cannot threaten members of Congress, X, Y, and Z. So I think the majority of them will, because mind you, everybody's not MAGA. They're just the loudest. Let's see. The South Africans that are coming here, the white South Africans that are coming here, Donald Trump, I think, personally, has subjected them to a reality that they have no idea what faces them when they get here. Will they be subjected to discrimination once they're here? Mind you, foreigners are still foreigners to some people. I think some of them have been sent to New York, the melting pot. But my concern is that you will put people in a position to where they look like Trump people now. Whether they are or not doesn't even matter. But they look like, oh, you're one of the Trump South Africans. And so that may subject them to being treated like a MAGA. So will they be subject?
You're like an Elon. You're like an Elon, and poor little Elon's businesses are crumbling.
So will they be discriminated against when they get here? Or they are here now, I believe, or something.
It's like you could go anywhere in the world when you're white. You could pretty much just get on a plane and pick up and move. Why didn't you do it a long time ago? You didn't like it in South Africa.
Because it's BS. That's why.
Because it's BS. It's like these people have money. They're not poor. They're not facing hardship. We got to use taxpayer money to fly a plane down there and pick them up and bring them back. Why didn't they fly them through Newark?
Take them to Kentucky. Take them to Arkansas. Take them to Oklahoma.
Fly them through Newark, where they're having problems with the air traffic control.
Whole administration that pivots upon, we don't like foreigners, but let's bring them over here. Why then?
Yes, but it won't look like racism. It will look like it'll have a different look in the attack, kind of like the cars, like Tesla, the automobiles, and how they've changed the fortunes there by constricting the business. So people will watch like what business they're in and everything, and like if they find out they own this business or they own that business, they'll get a group of people together and boycott. They'll have problems, but it's hitting them in the wallet more is how it's going to happen.
I think there is some issue. The Knight of Swords, chaos, the Three of Wands, it's already here, or it's fast approaching that chaos. It has to do with Donald Trump, King of Swords and the Devil card. This is a game. This has nothing to do with trying to save these people's lives. This is a game. They're just pawns. And like with Tesla, and you have so many people going around keying people's cars and setting the charging stations on fire and these type of things, people lash back at this administration and the things it does, the things it's involved with, not with rationale sometimes. And the Knight of Swords is not rational. It's reactionary. And so there's Donald Trump, and then there's his sick little game. And so they will be subjected to, and mind you, we've seen their faces because they've been all over TV. And so that doesn't help either.
It's not unlike the white nationalists, like the peanut butter boys, as we call them, and oath creepers. We liberal Americans or people leaning a little bit left don't like what they do, so we don't invite them into our homes and stuff.
Well, thank you for the PayPal. There's 2 more. Okay, so I know that we're psychic, right? I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway, right? Doge and it's Inspector Gadget sleuth hunting for money and fraud and all that good stuff, right? So an internal Trump administration document, very important sentence right there. This didn't come from my house. An internal Trump administration document. It came from their administration. Okay. Reportedly shows that anti-fraud checks recently installed at the Social Security Agency have found 2 cases of potential improper benefits at a rate of 0.0018, which means they found no fraud while Elon was there. Meanwhile, he said he found millions upon millions of dollars in fraud and waste at the Social Security.
In the Department of Goofy Economics.
Yes.
Yeah, there's tons of fraud. No, there's not.
President Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk narrative that Social Security is brimming with fraud. Musk falsely acclaimed in March that 40% of the calls for Social Security were fraudulent. 2 cases. 2 cases of potential fraud, not even fraud. Potential, no, it didn't say fraud in here. It said potential improper benefit claim. More than 110,000 at a rate of 0.0018, which means he found nothing. But at the same time, he said he found millions. Where did the money go that he found? If you found no fraud, but yet you come up with a number, where did the money
go? Made up number, as they like to do over and over.
Like, oh, look here, I found $100 million. We're going to give it back to the American people, is what they were supposed to be doing, right? Where'd it go? Can't stand these people, Jesus.
into a celebrity lifestyle. Some of it went to Russian government, so they owed some money. Yeah, blocking to give it to the impoverished. The oligarchs and their contracts. So Starlink's.
I have two more questions about him. There's a man and there's a deal. Two of Cups is a deal. King of Pentacles, there's the man, businessman on top of that. Ten of Wands and the Ace of Wands, trying to alleviate pressure somewhere. It went to him, whoever that is.
You know, he's getting out of Doge, he says, right? But then he turns up in Saudi Arabia because he's trying to get deals in the Middle East for Starlink.
You believe Doge all you want to. He's got all the money now.
Yeah, he's supposed to go back to Texas and worry about Tesla and stuff, but no, he's over in Saudi Arabia getting Starlink contracts.
Well, let's talk about Texas and Elon for a second. He has his own city there now.
Yeah, he's got a whole compound.
It has been, because it was in a vote of like 11 to 6, or not, no, it wasn't even that close, like 218 to 6 or so. 6 people opposed it, and the majority said, go right ahead. There's a city in Texas now called Starbase, and it's all his. Kind of like Disney did in Florida, where that whole little area was all them, and so forth and so forth.
53,000 square foot mansion or whatever it is. And all these little children.
It's the South Texas home of Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket company is now an official city with the galactic name Starbase. A vote Saturday to formally organize Starbase as a city was approved by a lopsided margin. The tally was 212 in favor and 6 against. Now, maybe like Disney and so forth, who upkeeps all of this? Because it's now a city. Is it Texas? And if it is, who's going to care? Who's going to even know? Because again, 212 to 6. But that's not my question. I just wanted to mention that. Here's another thing, though. Elon's Political Action Committee is being sued. Remember when he said he was going to pay people to go out and vote and that type of thing? Well, apparently they never got paid.
Yeah.
So America,
the winners were pre-selected.
Promised $47 and eventually $100 to voters in 7 battleground states for signing a petition to support the Constitution. However, 3 Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Georgia residents claim that the PAC breached the contract by failing to pay them in full. So they got something, just not all of it. The federal action, or the federal class action lawsuit filed on May the 8th would represent everyone who signed or referred a voter to the petition, but did not receive the payment. Will they get their money is my question. Thank you, Irish lady. Musk, who spearheaded the Department of Government Efficiency, operates an advisor role, blah, 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 has done similar giveaways, including a $1 million daily payment to those who signed this pledge.
Meanwhile, it was illegal to pay for votes, which is what he did.
Now he's being sued because he did a Donald Trump.
If he pays them or tries to settle out of court, then he's guilty of paying for votes.
I can't.
He's in a catch-22 on this one, is all I'm saying. The courts force him to pay. I don't think they could force him, though, because it's illegal to pay for votes.
Now, mind you, they said they didn't receive payment in full. Sound like they got something. So maybe he's guilty of it already.
They're just gonna keep fighting for this. The people that are trying to secure this payment that he's abandoned. Yeah, he stole the election. Number one. I'm getting that there may be an action taken about that eventually. I don't think these people will ever see their money because it's a catch-22 for him. I got something else to say about Elon too.
There is a deal, justice, two of cups in the justice. So there may be some sort of agreement that is in their favor. We'll see. What you had to say?
So Elon, he's building these huge data centers, and in Tennessee, he went to a predominantly Black area north of Memphis and built this huge data center that's putting all kinds of chemicals in the air and in the groundwater and everything else, pollution galore, much higher cancer rate there in that area than the rest of Tennessee. And I'm like, he's going to keep building these huge data centers, right? He needs them like for Starlink and stuff, but I call it the modern plantation. He's enslaving people to the jobs and then killing them off, if that makes sense. Will he eventually get constricted on his data centers that are polluting the crap out of our country every time he builds one? Not just him, data centers in general, because there's a lot of them all over the country. And growing. This is what tech companies want. They want their little oasis in Texas, with their big mansions. They want their little compounds and stuff, but they want to pollute the crap out of the rest of us. And it's interesting the areas they go to. There's a place in Mississippi also where they have huge problem with cancer. They're targeting.
I think yes. I'm skeptical because money talks and everything else walks type thing. But I get the Five of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles would be lack and loss, not having something. Four of Pentacles would mean sort of limiting a thing or keeping something under wraps. Then the Star, health improves, is what the Star is as well, like a physical healing. And the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands, there's like a decree of some sort. So maybe you can't be within certain limits or city limits or something like that. Like you have to be such and such far away from this type of thing.
Wow, they're gonna have all kinds of legal action. This whole things are moving on this. There's going to be a lot of families coming together, taking action, new action coming in. I get legal action, so like class action agreement, and the corruption of these oligarchs that are building these sites where they're at. I think eventually they're going to have like major payouts. I don't think anything's going to be done till Trump's done, till he's out. Completion of the idiot. But I get that there will be legal actions and major payouts and finding places like offering solutions, you know, trapping the pollutants, filtering them, you know, not just putting them out there in our planet. It's really funny to me because Elon used to tout, you know, wanting to be green and a better world for our youth and everything. He used to be all about our environment, and he's not anymore.
For the love of money is the root of many evils. Okay. John Ossoff said he wants to impeach Donald Trump. They're waiting for the midterms. There is a Democrat, I forget his name, it was hard to pronounce in the first place, but he wanted to force a vote like last week. And then the other Democrats was like, that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. You're an idiot. You shouldn't do that. And you're forcing our hand and blah, 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 because it won't be successful. And I get it. But at the same time, it's a teeny bit annoying because this idea of let's just wait while he burns the world down and then let's see if we can do something with the ashes is a little annoying.
Let's wait till after the midterms. Dudes, he fixed the last election. The midterms aren't going to help you if you don't do something now.
And that's kind of where I'm going with this, because this is a way of asking two questions with one stone here. Will they get him, will they impeach him successfully after the midterms? And that'll be, I guess, a way to ask too if the House will go blue. We know he's not going to be removed, but
will they impeach him before the midterms?
After, because that's what they're looking for, is to after the midterms, let's go for impeachment, because they believe they'll have a majority then.
They did have, you know, one person that read the articles of impeachment already on the floor. If we keep having more and more Republicans turning against Trump before the midterms because they're catching flack for, I want to ask, will they impeach him before the midterms? Because he's going to cost them their election. Will they? 86-47 before the midterms. He's barely been in office 100 days.
Feels like 9 years.
Yeah, feels like forever. Will they impeach him before? Sitting there falling asleep in his press meetings and everything while he's on his trip. It's like the old man needs to go.
Old man
needs his naps. And if you have not looked for No King's Day protests in your area, nokings.org, you can find by zip code where the closest ones are to you. June 14th, his birthday. They're already fighting about it. They're already thinking about it. How to constrict this idiot. See, and I think unlike the last time they impeached him, like it went through the House but couldn't get it through the Senate, I think this time they could get it through the Senate. Easy. I think there's too many in the Senate that have turned against him. So if they could sway the House, enough people in the House, I think yes. Because they don't know where he's going with all this bullying and stuff. And a lot of people are changing their opinions on him. You know, his manipulations and the chaos and everything. So maybe in 3 months, going after him successfully, bringing a big change. Would not surprise me if they didn't impeach him before midterms.
So I asked if they would impeach him afterwards, and that fell out. 10 of Swords. I don't think so. I mean, at the same time, it's a bit of a token, I guess, because they don't remove him. Like, you impeach him and it's a stain on his record, but does he really care? I mean, he cares a little bit because he doesn't like to be pushed back against, but I mean, look where we are now. He got to do it all over again. So
You got like Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley bitching about that budget that didn't pass to get out of the committee last week. How you can't take all of our constituents off Medicaid. Duh. Like well, they finally are hearing enough complaints, that they realize, oh, we can't do that. We're going to have an uproar. I think easily they could get 60 votes in the Senate now. I think there's enough changing on him there. Why the House hasn't woken up yet to it, maybe they don't care because they're 2-year terms versus senators that are 6 years. They don't care.
So my question, because we run for president 2 years at a time in this country, unfortunately.
Trump, you're always running.
Mm-hmm. But we as Democrats did not start off very well this year with the whole I'm going on a book tour, y'all figure it out person. And then Democrats were all angry because their voices, not their in particular voices, but their voices in Congress seemed to fade and disappear. And then we were still getting emails asking for money. Meanwhile, nobody's out there, fighting the good fight except, AOC and Bernie and blah, blah, a few other people. So we didn't start off very well. And then a whole bunch of Democrats went independent, especially right after that. And so my question now is, what is the third party candidate going to look like in the next presidential election? Will they be a lot stronger, a lot farther ahead? Because splitting the vote is also a dangerous thing. And so, but at the same time, like I said, we didn't start off very well with the Democrat. And so,
or are they going to look more like RFK Jr. that, Trump had to get rid of him because it was taking votes from him.
So what is that going to look like? Will the third party candidate throw a wrench in the whole system? Will there even be one? Will we all at that point get behind each other or what? Because Democrats need a change. Like it, love it, hate it, or leave it, it's still true. And our old guard has gotten us this far, and it ain't working. When Trump is burning down the world, he went on a book tour. So, God bless Biden. He did what he could, but where's the rest of you? And then he came out and also said things that were not helpful.
I get third party will look probably kind of like Bernie Sanders, somebody that brings illumination on all the oligarchs and the money in politics and tries to bring change for that. So Yeah, seeing our economy constrict, seeing a constriction in our lifestyle, seeing those that are, not doing that well. So I would say it's going to be somebody that's more typical of like a Bernie Sanders type, who works as an independent, and somebody who brings hope also.
Because here's another problem: is we have active suppression on our side. They already are starting an AOC and bust type of thing. Jasmine Crockett come out and said that the donors are calling and saying we have to go with the white guy because they're afraid of female candidates now. So we have this energy over here of we have to go with this in particular person, which means you suppress everybody else. Problem with that being is the Four of Pentacles and the Moon card. The electorate still is going to do what it's going to do. And so there is someone here who holds a very significant ground within that conversation. And there is no way directly to their voters. Now, eventually, they may come around. But right off the bat, the Nine of Wands and the Strength card, you're going to have to woo these people because they're not on there. All of the Democrats right now are not on the same page. And that is because we want a change. And the powers that be want something safe. They want something that they believe will be the person to win.
Corruption and treason, like a separation from the corruption.
So I did this reading, and I want to know what you get. And I'll pull again anyway. But Jasmine Crockett, she said that the donors are calling and saying, we want a white guy. We have to go with the white guy because that's going to get us the win. Because the last time we ran female candidate, Donald Trump won both times. And so they're all afraid that if you don't pick somebody safe, white, and Christian, then you're not going to get another election. Meanwhile, Donald Trump did not beat Kamala Harris, and he probably didn't beat Hillary Clinton either. So with that being said, what is the future of female candidates in the Democratic Party?
I'm going to put over the next 10 years, I'm going to put a time thing on it. I think twice we have elected a female president.
Mm-hmm. So that notion of we're not ready for a female president. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We elected one twice.
We just got to quit getting our elections rigged. We're ready for women on the Supreme Court and as judges and everything else. We're ready for a female president.
Every other industrialized nation has had one, haven't they? There you go. There you go.
I think they will eventually get a woman in the White House. Someone who's like got global leadership and balanced, aggressive. But the change is slow and steady. So if it's not in the next election, it'll be the one after that.
Get money out of politics, and you can have whatever you want.
Citizens United.
Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. The money is what weighs down the system, even on our side. Mind you, like it or not. Thank you, Lala. Like it or not, when Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton were running, the DNC said they were bankrupt by Barack Obama because of the whole, that he was constantly being sued, or at least his administration was. The DNC spent a lot of money and so forth and so forth. So they didn't have any. So Hillary Clinton gave them $5 million. And then all of a sudden she's the candidate. We have to get money out of politics and out of influence. And then you can have whatever you want. The person you vote for then would go forth and be married. But anyway.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
I know we're running out of time, but June 14th, Trump's birthday, military parade, no King's Day. How big are the protests? Are they going to be the biggest protests yet?
We can stop there.
Is this going to be huge? In many, like even little towns near me are doing no King's protests.
No King's Day.
Which, by the way, anybody that made an appointment with me for June 14th, I may have to reschedule you because Karen Conroy, I think you were one of them. I may have to reschedule you so I can go protest. And I'm going to carry a 8647 sign for sure. Yeah. Taylor Swift isn't hot anymore. Did you notice? She's not hot anymore. He is so jealous of her. It's like, dude, you were never hot. When you were younger, you were an ugly young man. Trying to compare yourself to Taylor Swift and Bruce Springsteen giving him crap in his concerts.
The question was, will there be a large protest?
Like earth-shatteringly biggest yet?
They'll feel more like celebrations. Is that his birthday?
It's his birthday.
Okay, there's the birthday card. 4 1s is your birthday celebration, anything that you got celebratory. They feel as though it's going to turn into some sort of 86-47 type of chant too. And there's the marching in the street with the Knight of Swords. There's a lot of vigor around this. The Chariot card there too. With the Chariot card, though, that gives me a bit of a hope that they're going to pull in people that are unexpected. Like you have the Dems that'll sure be there, but it's like some of the right may come as well, or some of the people that you didn't think would be there will be there.
Some of the Latinos for Trump that are pissed off that he brought these white South African people here.
Maybe that's what it is. Because there's like a foreign influence to it too. Like there's, so you may have some in other countries or something like that. Because there's a Ace of Wands and then the Emperor. That's a foreign influence too. So I think I don't get like this is going to be gigantic size because it just didn't answer that part. But this is going to be surprising as far as like the coming together part. Like you wouldn't expect these people, or you should expect. People.
Indivisible, nokings.org. What's the other one? The number 150, 51 or whatever. They're all spreading the word about these. The loser Trump, his little special day, his day of celebration. Yeah, there will be strength in 86ing the man in the White House. Strength. So I think they're going to be huge. I think there's a lot of people, to your point, that have a different perspective on him, that are getting disgusted with him and not accepting what he offers. So I get there's people shifting sides. So it would not surprise me if there wasn't a bunch of Trump supporters. It will feel celebratory in nature. But a lot of people are just tired of him getting away with this and what he's doing, overseas, accepting gifts, making him very nervous, from these oligarchs and people with money. I think they're looking to really constrict him, taking an action, and I think it's going to be big.
Resist.
When you start out with the strength card on the loser on the bottom, resist.
I have a shirt. that says when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. So we are doing our duty. Remember, we did not take this laying down. So if nobody else will fight for us, we know we have to. But for now, don't go and fight. Go and watch something funny. To kind of cleanse your energy of politics, because this could be heavy. I try not to ask such heavy questions. That way it's a little lighter over here at least. But go cleanse your energy. Go watch something interesting. Go watch something funny. Go learn something, whatever, Rosetta Stone, however you want to do. But go and cleanse your energy of the politics, please, for right now.
Even in I live in Illinois, and there's protests within 14 miles of me, so I can make it easily in 20 minutes to one. But even in like Southern Illinois, which tends to be much more Republican, there's protests in so many towns. Look at where they're at in your area. If you can't stand there on the side of the road with a sign, at least drive up and down and honk and put a sign in your window, or get your granddaughter to drive you up and down the road. Show some support for the people out there standing there with the signs all day. Well, they're not all day. Like for my area, they're like an hour and a half long. There's some areas where they're going on all day, like especially in like Maryland, DC area. There's some all day events.
And thank you all for being here for my 18th.
Happy birthday, Johnny. happy birthday.
Thank you, SW. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Uptick. Thank you, Gigi. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Lucky Girl. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, me, myself, and I. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Lori, again. Thank you, Orchid and Judy. Thank you. Thank you, Irish Lady. Thank you, Lala. And thank you, Anna. And thank you, Selma. I'm sorry I missed Anna and Selma at the end there. I was chatting away.
And thank you to the 2,000 plus people that joined us for a birthday party.
And thank you for my Cash Apps and PayPal too. And so we will see y'all next Sunday. If the creek don't rise, y'all take care of yourselves. Again, go watch something, cleanse your energy, get the politics off of you. Don't go to sleep with it. So we'll see y'all later.
Bye.